Hello, Namaste, this is Gilles Mancillon, and I come to you today to speak a bit about finding appropriate reading for spiritual evolution. Of course, whatever draws your attention, if you feel like you need to read any book, it's probably the book you need to read, because your intuition will always lead you in the right path. However, there are certain reading habits. If you only read newspaper, that will not. Of course, the light is in everything, but it will not bring you to higher spiritual wisdom, because it's kind of a circle that will remain in this dimension. But there are teachers and books and on the internet videos as well. Many people are applying a spiritual process to help the collective in the ascension. So go with whatever draws your interest. Of course, if you seek spiritual wisdom, there are many well-known paths to seek that, like the famous the Torah, the Bible, the Quran, or the Bhagavad Gita, the Lalita Vistara, or the great religious text. Also, there are certain books that have really had a great influence in my spiritual evolution. The first one I want to show here is called The Truth by God. I do not have an English version. I read it in English. It exists in English. It is a book that's never been sold in library. But it's a very powerful spiritual truth. I'm trying to share it in French, because I have the French copy. I'm sure at some point somebody who has an English copy will come to share it. But it's a very powerful, advanced spiritual truth about the non-vehicle. And so it may be a bit difficult, but I just thought I'd mention it because I'm reading it in French. I can't really share it in English since I don't have the English version. But this book really changed my life in 1984 when it came. It was really, in 1985, it took me a couple of years, but it really impacted my life and my paintings. Another book of wisdom that is very of use, very simple book of wisdom, is called the Tao-Te-Ching, Tao-Te-Ching in English. It is 81 poems left by Confucius, and there is a great understanding in terms of the Tao, the law of one, the magnetic attraction, how things work. Another book that was very powerful, this one is in English. It's called The Keys of Enoch. This is a it's a complex book written by Metatron, I believe, a while back. That was illustrated book. It's helps to. It's very encoded and helped the understanding on how to create the Merkaba. Another book that is very essential, I think, that in terms of gaining wisdom is the I Ching in English, the I Ching in French. And this is the best version, as far as I know, the text of Richard Willem. It is very much where Lao-Tse and Confucius gained their wisdom originally. It is a code of living. It is very much in accordance to nature, and is very powerful. Whenever you seek an oracle, this is a great powerful book. Another book that really had a very strong impact on my life is the book of Urantia. Of course, it's a big book, but this is not an initiation book. It is a book of revelation that speaks of the celestial universe, like the painting that is behind me was inspired by the Urantia revelation, and so those are very powerful books. But then, whatever you led to read is what the information that you need. Right now, I just finished reading Madame Bovary of Gustave Flaubert, and I was looking through my library, and I started finding some old book. Like this one is from Dante, the Divine Comedy, and seems interesting, 1849. It's kind of nice to read in an old edition. Those books seems to have more soul, more. It is quite nice, much nicer than in a paperback version. But it is very much the wisdom and the love and the light that is within the book that you are looking. So just follow your intuition and go with your heart. But there is a lot of a New Age book also that are very powerful. Anything that comes from higher planes will be putting you into this frame of mind that if you accept it, it will help you ascend. I wish you a nice day. I hope this was interesting, and do not hesitate to leave me any comment if you have. Thank you very much. Namaste.